And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
Scott Baum here from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. Search our big selection of pre-owned cars and trucks by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Our guest in studio today, Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services. Good morning, Paul.
good morning, Seth.
Thanks for coming out and talking with us. As always, big weekend in Clinton, and I know for you and your staff at Warner Hospital, I'm sure you're gearing up for all the people that come to town. How about Apple and Pork Festival and what that means for you all?
We have prepared for Apple and Pork over the years, especially happy and proud that we've got an emergency room that's now twice the size it was in the past, and we're fully staffed, and it's a well-oiled machine now, so we are looking forward to whatever Apple and Pork might bring us. Hotter than usual weather, which I hope is not the case, brings more heat exhaustion and things like that. But even if it's normal weather, if it's very sunny, you can have heat exhaustion. So yes, we are thinking of all the possibilities and on how we can support Apple and Pork.
Ideal is how the National Weather Service described it yesterday. But sunny, like you said, and you can still get a little heat exhaustion if you're out there too long. So
if you're not hydrating, that's right.
Yep. Gotta hydrate. I don't know that apple cider floats or things like that constitute hydrating. I think we got to stick to water. If I'm not mistaken, I'm no health expert, Paul, but I think water is probably the best. Even still,
that's what they tell me.
Yeah, for sure. Very good, very good. So the Apple and Pork Festival weekend, the hospital is gearing up for that. Do you make extra staff? I mean, because the town's population increases tenfold. Do you make contingencies to say, hey, let's bring 2 or 3, extra people in just in case?
Yes,
what do you do?
As well as emergency room doctors, we coordinate with our emergency room doctor group to ensure that there are backups also for the entire weekend.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully not too many issues and things go well. And I know the emergency folks kind of wander the grounds all the time, and they're at the ready in the event of something like that. And it's not a short, it is a short drive, I should say, not a long trip over to the hospital from the grounds. So
that's great.
Very good. So the hospital ready for Apple and Pork this weekend. Paul, let's dive into once the Apple and Pork Festival. Actually, let's not move along. We need to talk about your 5K. I'm remiss that I missed that.
Thanks for
reminding I apologize.
Me. Yeah, we've got our Swifty Swine 5K run that always runs the Saturday that kind of kicks off Apple and Pork for us, runs at 8 a.m. Out at Weldon Springs State Park. And we've got 110 folks signed up already. And whenever there's nice weather, we generally get about another 20% just walk-ins on Saturday morning. So that is another hospital foundation fundraiser. So with good weather, we'll have a great turnout.
Very good. Too late to get signed up, or can you?
No, it's never too late. And as I said, you can actually sign up if you get there at 7:30 in the morning, as many people do. There are competing runs in Bloomington and other areas that it can cut down on how many participants we have. But when there's nice weather, somehow they make room for all the 5Ks.
Did you say where it was at?
It is at Weldon Springs.
Which do we run a trail or what?
We do. We run a trail, and it's all marked out already. Our facility director, Tom Hankins, camps out for the entire week on the week before, and so it is well planned and well mapped out, and alternatives in case it rains and so forth.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get too much rain and it makes those grounds soggy and everything. Do you know which trail we're doing this year?
It's very similar to last year, but if it rains, then the default trail is unfortunately more asphalt. You're more on the road.
Sure. Well, hopefully, I know it's supposed to rain tonight and into tomorrow, and that's kind of most of the rain we're supposed to get here for the next several days. So hopefully, it doesn't do too much to the trails. But
that would be perfect.
We'll keep an eye out. Now, if something changes that morning, Paul, again because of rain or weather or events, whatever the case may be, where do folks go to keep up with kind of how what's the latest in the development of those changes?
Warner Hospital's Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Is there a 5K Facebook page?
There is a 5K subsection within
Okay. Very good. So check that out, the 5K this weekend. And as Paul said, never too late to get signed up for that. Let's dive into this morning, Paul. Once we get past Apple and Pork, we turn the calendar over to October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I know our two kind of businesses here are teaming up for a special campaign. What's going on here?
Yes, WHOW, WECZ is doing a Breast Cancer Awareness Month campaign. And we're really emphasizing it this year. Screenings are always important every year. But Emily Walker, our marketing manager, has come up with a Think Pink Flamingo campaign. And so we already have flamingos out in front and the back and the sides of the hospital. So that people will ask, what are those flamingos doing there? Mm-hmm. To generate some conversation. Both on the street and on Facebook and things like that, in advance for a great series of radio spots that WHOW has put together for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are we doing here, Paul? What are we promoting?
So the 3D mammography that we have, there's a history with the hospital foundation and the 3D mammography. Mm-hmm. And so I just like to go back to our recent golf outing and tie this in. On September 12th, we had the most successful golf outing we've had so far in the last 10 years. And that's really important because it's the hospital foundation's golf outing. Mm-hmm. And it's the hospital foundation that originally raised the money for our Siemens 3D mammography unit.
I remember that. So in terms of that piece of machinery, is it still state of the art? Is it still one of those that we can turn to for good information?
There's always software upgrades, so we're constantly upgrading it. So it is still state of the art.
Now, with the golf outing this year, was there anything specific going on with this campaign to make people aware of it? Were funds raised for something specific this year? How about that?
There's a number of ideas. As a matter of fact, I was just discussing it this morning that our signage, our electronic sign that tells the community what we're up to and other events in the community, that also was funded 10 years ago by the hospital foundation.
Man, I can't believe that's been 10 years.
I know. And so I think it's due for an upgrade, and we'll discuss that at the next foundation meeting.
Okay.
There's better technology now. We'd like folks to be able to, when you're at that stoplight, we'd like folks to be able to easily read, see the pictures and read what it is that's happening in the community and at Warner Hospital and family medicine and so forth. So we'll take a look at that as one idea for investment for the hospital foundation.
Okay, sure.
And also, for the first time, we had a lead sponsor. It was Baum Chevrolet for the golf outing.
Yeah.
And as I was leaving this morning, it just came to my attention as I was leaving, I saw on the plaque that it was actually Richard Baum, Scott's father, that was on the hospital board in 1970. He was the president of the hospital board in 78.
No kidding.
That put together the last edition of the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Before family medicine was put together in 1999.
How about that?
So there's some history for you.
And it comes full circle that Baum is now, was the biggest supporter of the foundation golf outing this year. Yeah, for sure. When it comes to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Paul, I know that is kind of every year, the pink comes out and those sorts of things. The pink flamingos this year are of significance. Will those just be on the hospital property? Are you doing much more with those, whether it's partnering with other groups, organizations? What's going on there?
There's a great idea for next year. No, we hadn't partnered with other organizations as far as physical flamingos, but that sounds like a great extension for next year.
Okay,
To
sure.
build on the success of this year.
Yeah, but it's really a conversation starter, is what it sounds
is.
like.
That's
yeah.
correct.
You mentioned the social media piece of it. Is that just going to be one of those, daily tidbits maybe you put out, or do you have much more vision for that piece there, Paul?
Emily Walker, our marketing manager, has been investigating more granular use of video campaigns, YouTube, and so those are things to come.
Okay. Well, look forward to that for sure. Yeah, very good. Very good. Paul, as we chat here for this morning, again, golf outing, breast cancer awareness month, it's all kind of tied together here today. What did we miss? What do you want to put out there for us?
I just applaud you for saying we're going to have ideal weather for apple and pork this weekend.
I take zero credit for that, but just passing along the message because I don't want the blame when we get bad weather. So, yeah, very good. All right, Paul. Well, on that note, let's take a break. Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services, our guest in studio. More to come with Paul on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. Kind of a steady start with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. December corn opening 422 3/4 up a penny. March corn up 3/4, 439 1/2. May beans 449 up half a penny. November beans starting today 1006 3/4 down 4 1/4. January beans down 3 3/4, 1026 3/4. March beans 1043 1/4 down 3 3/4. December wheat 512 3/4 up 2. March wheat opening 531 1/4 up 1 3/4. May wheat 543 up 1 1/4. October bean meal 275.70 down 320. October bean oil 48.98 down 19 cents. Opening numbers on this Wednesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Selection for a new Chevrolet is here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. Yes, from the Corvettes to the Suburbans and everything to help your family or business, Chevrolet has value options for your needs. This month, see our Silverado trucks in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel. Our Silverados have big savings with more discounts if you trade yours in. Chevrolet, together let's drive. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
When it comes to finding primary care, you can be seen at any doctor's office, but at Memorial Care, you're not just seen, you're heard. Our primary care team takes the time to listen to you, building a lasting relationship based on transparency and trust. So when you notice a change in your health, you've got a team that's ready to advocate for what you need. Memorial Care, real connections. Learn more at memorial.health/primary care.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services. And Paul, as we chat this morning, I saw that your specialty clinic entrance is finally operational. Talk about that with us.
I go out there every day to see the patients come in, even though some of them are struggling because of whatever is afflictions, why they're seeing somebody at the specialty. But they smile when they see me because it's only 25 feet from the car to the door. And so there's a lot of appreciation between both the specialists that are coming and seeing happier patients and the patients themselves.
Sure.
It's been open since Labor Day.
Well, and that was a long time coming, right?
It was 3 months behind waiting for the state inspection, but
yeah,
when it came, it took 3 minutes, and glad to have it behind
Oh,
us.
you got to love that, right? Oh my gosh. Wait 3 months for a 3-minute approval process and it's open. Goodness, what a What a disgrace. Anyways, on that note, Paul, moving along, I know that you're starting the budget process for the hospital a little early. What's going on there? Why are you doing this?
Well, we have our Meditech Expanse, which is electronic health record upgrade that'll bring us up to state of the art, and it goes live on November 1. Now, as a result of that, we wanted to get our fiscal 27 budget, which starts next May 1, done early, get people thinking about that so we can submit it to the board in February. So a lot of the legislative efforts in Washington have affected our approach to the budget. Reimbursement is not going up by much, not keeping up with inflation, but the costs of running the hospital are keeping up with inflation, both labor and materials, and the tariffs that have affected medical supplies and things like that. So we're being very judicious about any expansion plans as far as the plant that haven't already been budgeted. And so there's no large scale projects planned for the future as a result of these legislative changes.
Yeah. I would think it has to be hard to keep up with your budget when, and I don't know how much you rely on the federal dollars or state dollars or whatever the case may be, but it has to be hard to, plan budget wise when there's always ideas, there's always proposals, there's always conversation about, what could be next for healthcare. You know what I mean?
That's right. It's you have to keep up with the news in Washington because there's a general theme to reduce support system expenditures in the federal government, and that trickles down to healthcare. And we never know which balloon is going to pop up as something that we might be pharmacy costs that they're looking to reduce. Whatever it is, we're trying to factor it all in and eliminate surprises. But just yesterday, there was a surprise on the government's going to charge $100,000 per visa, and for H-1B visas, which is for when foreign doctors come in. We don't have foreign doctors. Other critical access hospitals, rural hospitals, rely on them, and they said they're going to make an exception for physicians. But those kind of things get your attention right away, and you look at your budget immediately and say, is there something that I missed? What is the real financial impact of the decision of this legislative effort?
Is there a like a group or lobby group out there that you follow? Because you can read the news articles and they're oftentimes slanted one way or another, and they can only portray so much because there's probably a lot in a piece of legislation. Is there a
Yes.
Talk about that?
Illinois Hospital Association, which we are a member of. I'll be going to their conference, their annual conference in Chicago on Thursday, and they work with the American Hospital Association in Washington, D.C. So our congressmen, our senators, our state senators and state congressmen all coordinate to try and support themes that will maintain reimbursement for healthcare.
Gotcha.
and access for the patients. That's the most important thing. Will it be harder in the future for patients to get in the emergency room? Will they have the insurance coverage? If they don't, we still must see them and stabilize them. So it might be more costly. These are the things we're factoring into the budget.
I see. So budget time coming a little early at Warner Hospital. It sounds like. Anything on the budget, money, things of that nature we haven't touched on. I mean, you've done a lot facilities wise, really made investments there the last several years.
Correct. I am looking at, and this isn't in the immediate budget, but I am keeping an eye on technology because with artificial intelligence, there are some real advances in technology. And so when you mentioned the 3D mammography, ultrasound in radiology and so forth is becoming something that's coming to the forefront that might give better results quicker. And I'm watching what are, when new technologies come out, they're the most expensive. So we have to figure out what can a small hospital afford things like that.
Yeah, gotcha. Very good. Well, a couple minutes yet here still, Paul. Anything on your desk lately that's caught your eye, whether it be Warner Hospital related or just general health care that we haven't touched on this morning? What's been going on lately?
I just look at the national landscape and what all the other health systems, both large and small, are doing across the country. I see that 65 health systems are doing layoffs in the last month. And it's a result of some of these legislative changes. Some of them are teaching hospitals, so they have much more complex budgets than we have. But I am glad to say that, we are fully staffed and we don't have any planned layoffs within our upcoming budget.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Obviously pretty frugal on that front, right? I mean, just to
Correct.
make sure you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's and all those things.
Make sure we have the staff, the qualified staff to service the community.
Yeah. Well, Paul, I got a minute and a half. If you don't mind, let's revisit one more time the Swifty Swine 5K. Just give us the when and where on that and how folks keep up with the details.
Yeah, the 5K is at least 10 years old, maybe 11 years old. I think 2014 might have been the first time. So it's always at Weldon Springs. It starts at 8 a.m. If you get there by 7:15 or 7:30 and you haven't already registered, you can register on site, but you can go to the Warner Hospital Facebook page and look up the Swifty Swine and register there. We have good weather, as you said, for not just Apple and Pork, but our 5K. So we should be able to run the track that we ran last year through on the ground, soft ground. The path is cut out from the cornfields and everything, and the alternate route is on the pavement, which is a little tougher on the ankles for the old folks, but it works. And it's well attended, and it's from it takes from by 9 o'clock. It starts at 8, and by 9 o'clock, it's pretty much done.
Sure.
And then it's off to Apple and Pork.
There you go. Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services, our guest. Network news comes your way now.